Greetings, friends and fellow aliens, and thank you for tuning into this video. My name is David. Welcome back. And if it is your first time here, welcome here. Please remember, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that kind of stuff. Now, I want to talk a little bit about letting go today and kind of changing and letting go. But before I do that, I just want to let you know that tomorrow is going to be, I have to check the date, March 9th, 2023. I'm going to be going live on this channel, so you'll see a video come up where you'll be able to set a reminder. I just haven't scheduled it yet, so keep an eye out for that. I would love for you to pop by, hang out with me, just a nice free-form open talk. It's been a long time since I've connected with a lot of you, so I thought it'd be fun to do a little bit of a live and invite you to just hang out with me in my living room, and we could chat for a bit, answer any questions. I could talk a little bit about the stuff that I'm writing and all the projects that I have going on, see what's going on with you, and just have a good time chilling out with each other. So keep an eye out for that. Now, on to the topic at hand. I brought a friend with me today, and it's somebody that if you've been a fan of mine for a long time and on this channel, you will have seen probably 3 years ago. Her name is Penny. Penny's a bit bigger now than what she was a few years ago, and her full name is Penelope von Squigglebottom, Princess of Noodleham, and she is a Python. So I'm going to put her on screen. If you're the type that easily gets freaked out by snakes, then just look away. Otherwise, she's like the most harmless, beautiful, wonderful, great pet I've ever had. And so here she is. Ready? There's Penny. There she is. Say hello to everybody. Blah, blah, blah. There's her tongue. Yep, she's just going to say hi. That's all. Okay, so Penny's joining me today because I want to talk about letting go. And something that she is clearly not all that inclined to do. She knows me really well, and I handle her all the time, multiple times a week typically, and she's just like super chill and relaxed, and she enjoys me and my company, and enjoys the great life that I give her here. And so she is a little dirty though; she's got some substrate on her. So I was thinking about this topic, the topic of letting go, of changing, so to speak. And the idea that over the course of our lives, we encounter a lot of moments where we basically have to let go, or we may hang on to something. And what does it do to us when we hang on to something that doesn't serve us? And there's really no better way to explain this than in terms of a little bit of snake biology. Where are you going? Where are you going? For a snake like this one, right? She's a ball python. She's what's called a blue-eyed leucistic. That's her genetic makeup. What happens when snakes grow, and pay attention, like metaphor alert, okay? When snakes grow, they have to shed their skin. They grow out of their skin. And so what happens is they get to a point where they're eating and their body is changing and they're getting bigger and they're getting more muscles and all of those kinds of different things. And they have to basically come to this crossroads where they have to chill out for a while. And she'll go and hide away in her little hide in her terrarium, and for days, and just kind of chill out there. Her eyes get a little cloudy and then they clear up, and then I know she's going to be shedding. And then one day I wake up and there's a snake skin chilling out in there, and she's super happy, and ready to eat another meal and start the process all over again. And this is what growth is. And I just find that it's a really interesting metaphor in terms of us as human beings. Now, this is the internet, so you can never be too sure, and sometimes you have to put disclaimers out there. And so my disclaimer is that I'm not advocating that you peel your skin off and shed when you're feeling like you need to grow. And some idiot out there is going to be like, you're literally advocating for me to kill myself. No, I'm not doing that. Please don't be that way. But what I am saying is that it's an interesting thing. And when you think about what happens in terms of growth, it does parallel our growth as individuals. For a snake, they have to. And it gets to a point where it doesn't serve them. They start to shut down. They don't want to eat when they're going into shed. They get a little cranky. They get quiet. They sort of stay in one spot. They like their environment a very specific way. And they just kind of let their body do what it has to do before they shed and shed off the old and come into the new. And the new is growing at all times. Underneath her right now, underneath what you see on this outside, there is new growth. And it's constantly happening. And it will get to a point where the old growth doesn't suit anymore. And so she has to shed it in order to keep growing and in order to keep gaining her experience and eating and all those different things that she likes to do. It's something that just has to repeatedly happen. This is very similar with people. As people, we go through these changes in our life. It could be in a relationship, it could be work, it could just be, I mean, literally anything where structure and your view of the world, even your education, all sorts of things change what you see and perceive and how you act and interact with the world. And there comes a point for us where, no, let go of the microphone. Hey, let go. There comes a point for us where, as much as we want to deny it, we have to shed. We have to shed that old and really embrace what we've become or what we are becoming. And this gets me a little bit more into her biology, which is, think about what happens if you don't do those things. See, for a snake, they recede. They don't eat. They get more quiet. They're not hunting. They're not doing any of those things that they would normally instinctually do. When you refuse to grow, if you refuse to shed yourself and understand that you're becoming something else, the same kind of thing can happen to you. You may feel that need to recede. You may feel that need to be quiet. You may even lose your appetite for a while because you know that you are going through some kind of a change, and an important change for you. Now, again, not advocating for you peeling your skin off to become a new person, but at the same time, understanding that perhaps spiritually or emotionally, it's exactly what's going on. And as much as you want to try and fit the new you, the person that you have become or that you are becoming, into the old skin, you can't. It doesn't fit. You've become bigger. You've become too big, right? The shirt doesn't fit anymore, or skin, as the case may be. And that requires some kind of a change. And for a snake, right, a healthy snake, hey, that's part of the process, right? It's part of life, is that I'm growing, I'm changing, I have to shed so I can keep growing, and so I can keep getting bigger, and so I can keep becoming who I am supposed to become. And for humans, we can really look at it the same way. I'm growing. I have to shed some of the old. I have to stop holding on to the things that are probably holding me back or not serving me well. And I've got to allow myself to become this new person that has been growing inside of me. It's time to let go. This has been something personally that's been on my mind for a long time. I mean, this is kind of always on my mind, is just that identity question. Who am I? Who am I becoming? And how do I let go of the things that I was, right? The things that used to make me up that don't make me up anymore. And sometimes it's really hard. We have such a tendency to stay attached to those things and not want to release them for fear that we don't know who we are. Because even if you're holding on to something toxic, at least you know, well, that's who I've been. But that's not exactly a healthy outlook, is it? And much like Miss Penny here, it's the kind of thing that can have you receding, have you not eating, have you not sleeping as well, have you not wanting to interact, being cranky. She gets a little cranky, but she doesn't like bite or anything like that. Nope. I know what you expected today was probably not a video about a snake as a metaphor for your growth and letting go. But I really feel like it's kind of a neat way to frame being a human being and the changes that we go through. And plus, I wanted to show her off a little bit because the last time you guys saw her, she was wrapped around my finger. That's how tiny she was. And she is much bigger now. She's about 4 feet. Yes, you are. and still just as wonderful and precious as the day that I got her. But I'd like you to think about this, really give this some thought. Who are you holding on to? And what is it that you can shed in order to allow yourself to grow? And what is it that's actually constraining you? What are you hanging on to? That's preventing you from being that person that you are becoming? And understand that it's nothing really to be afraid of. Change can be scary. Yes, a lot of us we don't like it. We don't like change. There's always some element of, what if things go worse? There's worry about it. What if things are worse than they were before, or bad in some way? She's going to chill out with me here. She'll be fine. And so it's something that we can just kind of have a really good outlook on, and not worry so much about what's going to happen, and just understand that growth is part of our process, right? I'm not worried at all, by the way. Like, you shouldn't be worried. I know, like, some people are just scared of snakes, but there's literally nothing to be scared. Like, she's just a cute little noodle more than anything else, and she just likes to hang out and explore. This is what she's doing now. She's kind of handcuffing me at the same time, but that's okay. It's fine. She's a little strong these days. So folks, if you take any lesson from Miss Penny and the way she has grown, is to try and understand and have perspective that you can grow as well. And sometimes you have to let go, and you have to shed the things that have been familiar and that you've gotten used to, because you are becoming something bigger and better and more beautiful, just like she is. Okay. So anyway, that's all I have for you today. Just some thoughts and something to keep in mind for yourself as you look at your own life and some of the things that you can do to kind of change and the direction that you're going into, and knowing that it is going to be absolutely okay. It's part of life. Growth is part of life, and it is a good thing. It's how you can get bigger and more amazing than you already are. So again, reminder, tomorrow, March 9th, I will be going live. I would love it if you could join me here. You will get a notification. Just hit the bell, like make sure your notifications are on and all that. You'll see the video come up, and you can just say, remind me, or whatever else, and be here and hang out with me. I would love to see you there. So for now, thank you. And Penny and I will see you very, very soon.